everybody, welcome back. And this time we are going back to Automobilista 2. It's been probably a couple of weeks since I've been in this game, and I felt like I just needed to get away from it for a little bit, jump back in this when, I've had some time to kind of let it settle. There's been three updates since 103. So we are on version 1.0.9. And the big news out of this recent couple of updates was the Hockenheimring that was released. So when 1.0.7 came out, they added the GP and the national layouts. And as of today, with 1.08 and 1.09, they added the historic layouts. So we've brought it up to pretty much all the track layouts, all the layouts available. But I did want to call out a few different. I mean, there's been quite a few updates in these recent releases, and a lot of them are very minor updates, minor tweaks to the physics and the UI and the HUD and things like that. Nothing that I'm going to run through every single one because there is quite a few, but just kind of generally looking at what changes were made to them. A lot of things had to do with cart. So there's a lot of optimizations to the cart as far as, the carcass stiffnesses and the overall handling of the cart. A lot of the physics optimizations have been done around the Formula cars and Caterhams, but mostly the Formula cars, Formula Retros, Reza V10s, Formula Ultimates, I believe, as well, and the trainers. So there's a lot of things that were done there as far as tires, carcass. So nothing major again there. I know that there was new liveries added for the Ginetta, the G55, and another thing that was fixed was the push-to-pass button, available for the stock car series in time trial mode, because that wasn't there before. And again, we're talking about the carts. Some of the things that they fixed there is the anti-stall clutch have been added to all carts. So there's always this issue with the exit button and a multiplayer rumor. When you're in a race and you go back to the pit, if you keep pressing back, you end up throwing you out of the race. That was an issue that was in Project Cars 2 as well. So what they did was disable when you hit back, you actually just have to return to the pit. So it prevents you from actually getting kicked out of the room, which was a good thing. Now what they've done is they've re-enabled the exit button on the pause menu, but you still have to choose return, and we'll kind of go through that and check it out just to see how it's actually working. What else they did is add a marker so that you know what is DLC. So if you go in here and you see the stars, you can tell this is DLC content. And one great thing is if you have bought the game, if you bought Automobilista 2 prior to this actually being officially released, it is included, so you get it free. So if you haven't bought it yet, grab it, and if you choose to buy it after, it will be actually a content that you'll have to buy when it does get released. Okay, so let's get out of here and let's try out this new DLC, because that's really what this is going to be about. So we got 1977 historic layout, the 1988 layout with the chicanes here. You got the 2001 layout, the Short A, the National, and the Hockenheim GP track. So what we'll do is we'll go through each one. We'll select this here first. We'll go in different cars. We'll just try a few things. Since there was a lot of work done on the Formula cars, we should take out some of those cars in a second. But what we'll do is we'll check out the Ginetta first. Let's see what the new liveries that they have added here. I believe 99. I think that is a new livery. That is a new livery, I think. Yeah, let's take this black and yellow, and we'll go out on the track in Hockenheim GP circuit. All right, let's get out there and try this out. And actually, I didn't mention, so one thing you notice, I don't have my camera on tonight. I had to send my Elgato Cam link back just to get, I guess there's a problem with it, so I'm waiting for the replacement to come. Well, then you just get a fuller screen of AMS2. Tires are cold, brakes are cold. And what we'll do actually is, let's see if I hit the back button. Yeah, see, so the back button doesn't throw me out. You see at the top here where I have to hit Y to exit, which is great. So you don't mistakenly get thrown out of a multiplayer race or a room or a quali. So you actually have to press Y to get out there. So that's great. And good. Well, let's keep going. See any HUD changes? Nope. So I do notice down where the potential lap time, there is a marker, a separation mark there. So there is some tweaks here and there, but like I said, they're not something that's game-changing. It's really just, I guess, quality of life. Quality of life changes. It's pretty cool. You see that big stadium there? Yeah, that stadium is really a nice addition. Makes it quite immersive. We'll do the Hockenheim National Circuit. Go into some of the Formula cars. Let's do the Formula Race. Actually, I really like that. Yeah, that's a nice one. What I do want to do, though, is let's try change up some of the weather. So let's try it 6 o'clock. No, we'll do rain later, but let's do an overcast at 7 o'clock. And yeah, might be a bit late, I wonder, because we have no headlights on this car. So, okay, let me just quickly adjust my seat. Get a little bit of I don't want to see too much of the steering wheel. And we got curves, so let's get bit dark, but you know, for one lap's not going to hurt, but I should have made it around 5 or 6 o'clock. Does sound good, this car, though. Lights aren't on in the stadium yet, or in the grandstand, I should say. I wanted to call it a stadium because it basically looks like a stadium. Alright. Yeah, it is a bit dark. Use up some curves. I got the steering lock a little bit too high. It's a bit twitchy. So I need to try and see if I put it on at night, at nighttime, if it'll light up the grandstands. All right, so national, we do short A. Yeah, so let's take the Super V8. This does have lights. That says Germami. Look, that says Germami. Doesn't even say Germany. Germany. Super V8s on Germany. Ooh, that sounds pretty sick. Not sure what's up with that, but hopefully it doesn't sound like that all the way around. Oh, there we go. And a little audio bug. I got a little bit easy around the first lap because the tires are really cold, so no grip, and it's raining. Can't wait to pick up a headset, VR headset. So I heard this is really good in VR. I'm actually waiting for the Reverb G2 to come out for the pre-orders to open up. Here in Canada anyway. I remember this is the short track. I'm getting a little anxious in some of those straightaways. These Super V8s are great though. Tires are getting up to temperature and feeling a little bit more grippy. Yeah, not too bad. Alright, where do we go to one of the classic tracks now? It's really nice that they've added these classic tracks in. So we'll do the historic 2001 and go backwards. So let's do the Formula. I think there was some updates on the Formula Ultimate. Okay, and we're not going at night, that's for sure. Let's do a thunderstorm. Yeah. All right. Let's. Oh, lightning right off the bat. Now, realistically, we wouldn't be racing or on track if there was any lightning. Got to watch that accumulation of water on the side there because that'll spin you for sure. Lightning, give me some lightning. The only thing is there's no thunder. I'm having a little deja vu with Project Cars 2. Just the rain physics with these cars. I mean, you don't feel... It just feels like you're on ice all the time. It just shouldn't feel like that. I mean, you definitely don't want to have the grip of a dry track, but you shouldn't feel like you're on ice. Wash that puddle. And there's one there too. With the live track, it should take shape, you know, if you're running a race. Whoa. Accumulation of water right in the middle of the track. Yeah, I mean, you really got to stay off the edges, for sure. That thunder looks great. Or the lightning looks great. No thunder though, which is kind of odd. So, yeah, that wasn't bad. All right, so let's go. We have the 1988 version of it, which you have this extra chicane here. I think this was modified as well. Let me see. Yeah, so that was a tighter chicane in 2001. Oh, so you know what? Let's do a vintage Gen 2. What's this one? Yeah, let's do V12. All right, vintage car on a vintage track. So it was a good combo. I love when these games give you the old classic layouts because it just gives you a good understanding of kind of what they were racing against back in the day with cars like this who had no protection at all. And you're flying down these high-speed circuits. You can feel the power underneath you where you just wants to spin out, so you gotta be careful when you get that torque. You just gotta wrestle it around these corners. So remember, this chicane here in this version was a bit sooner and not as sharp. Nothing different about this corner here, really. So there's little modifications on each version, but I mean, it is enough to change up the dynamic of a race. This is a lot of power to control. That mobile bottle up there on the top of the circuit is a bit different. Okay, and for the final track, we go back to 1977. So 1977, there was no chicane there. 2001 and 1988 had a much sharper chicane here, so we'll see what it looks like in person. Which car should we take for this one? Let's do a P1 or let's do the Judd. We'll leave it as is. And what kind of weather should we do? Let's do fog. That's a pretty dark interior. Okay, P1 on the historic track. So, like I said, there's no chicane at the back end, and even here, the entrance to the track is... you don't have that full pit exit. We'll just keep an eye on some of the trackside objects and see what's different in this. Okay, so this was a lot easier of a chicane to go through. And then the one that was here in 1988 and 2001 is gone, so it should be just a constant. Oh, wait a second. Okay, so no, it's just, yeah. Yeah, so that was removed. Well, that was actually added because in 1988 and 2001 there was a chicane added in there. So they didn't do any changes from the chicane here in 1988. It was just modified for 2001. Paying attention to the more current versions, but were those walls in cement? I have to go back and look. There was no big grandstand there, so that wasn't the modern day versions. And then there was no Mobile 1. There's a Pirelli tower. So that's good. So they did add the actual artwork and trackside objects. Yeah, so I think it's pretty good. So that's a quick look at the last 3 versions that came out since 1.03, which is the public release. All in all, I think it is evolving nicely. There are some definite things that need to be moved up in priority as far as menu and artwork and things that are still not there. Championship needs to be fleshed out a bit more. There's one thing that I still think is just not right in the game is the braking. I think there's something missing with that, and I don't know if it's a matter of just not feeling the feedback of what's happening when you're braking, or not feeling like you actually have any brakes, period, until you're actually locking them up. Hopefully these things in the next couple of updates, they get taken care of instead of just adding more tracks and things like that. So I am optimistic. I do think that we will get a game that is good, it's fun, it's got a nice variation of tracks and cars in it that for all different sorts of racing, and eventually the GT3 cars will be added in, and a couple more tracks, a couple more classic tracks will be added in, and should satisfy most people's tastes. But at the core of it, I think there still is a few things that are missing there that hopefully get taken care of soon. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Please subscribe and support the channel, and we'll catch you again soon. Take care.